Okay, so first off, super, super proud of us, like I said in the last video, for making it this far. This is the longest I've done a program straight through. Like I completed 21 Day Fix and I completed Shift Shop, but they're both 21 days. So this is like out of my comfort zone, even as a Beachbody coach. Like this is something new for me. So I'm super pumped. One thing that I have been noticing, so I'm in the coach test group, which there's a ton of like, it's all coaches basically, like there's thousands and thousands of coaches in there. And not only in our challenge group, but in that group as well. And just like in general, like what I'm seeing for the 80-day obsession is people are frustrated. They're super frustrated with like not seeing results, or they're not like things aren't going as expected, or they're not as strict with their eating as they thought they'd be. They're frustrated that they don't know if they should be maintaining or that they should be losing, or like what they should be doing in terms of this program. So I've been trying to keep up with Autumn's videos in that group, and like, because she literally is like in that group and seeing what people are talking about, seeing what people are posting about, and she's addressing questions. So as the creator of the program, getting information from her firsthand is like the best situation, right? So basically what I've been like hearing her say over and over and over again is like, if you're in a bracket, you're in that bracket. There's a lot of people who are like, well, I'm like really, really close to being in the second bracket. Should I bump up or should I move? She's like, no, like the numbers don't lie. If you calculate your numbers and you're in a bracket, you're in that bracket, eat for that bracket. So if you're close to being in another one, stay in the one that you're in, because we recalculate throughout the entire process. So now that we're done phase one, we have to recalculate again. And whether your number on the scale went up or down or whatever, you use that number that you are today, calculate what food bracket you're going to be in, and then use that container system and everything like that. So the numbers are actually different. Let's see if I can share my screen here. Go through this with you guys. I might have to move things around a little bit. Okay, can you see this? Is it the 80-day session one? Okay, so if you look at this, so here is like the phase one calculation, and there's completely different numbers. So we are heading into phase two. So we're going to times our weight by 11, add 600, and then minus 650. So the difference between, so the first question I want to ask you is, do you want to lose more weight? If your answer is yes, I would like to be a little bit less weight or more comfortable with my weight on the scale, then I would say you go to step C. So you go all the way down to the 550. If you're at a comfortable weight, you just want to kind of tone up a little bit more, you don't necessarily need to lose any more weight, then you don't minus the 550 and you stay at the B calculation. So you would just go your weight times 11 plus 600, and that's your number. Now, that being said, that could jump you from being in bracket A, which is the lowest, and adding 600, which could put you in bracket C. So you could be jumping 2 whole meal plans and eating a ton more food. That doesn't necessarily mean you're going to gain more weight. It just means you're trying to bulk your muscles up. You're trying to maintain. You're not, necessarily looking for that huge calorie deficit. So you're just maintaining your weight. And usually eating more is going to, like I said, fuel your muscles more. And she created these programs and these eating plans for that specific reason. So yeah, make sure you calculate that, and then you go, whatever number you get, you go to the eating plan, and then you go through that. So now if we go to, so we'll just go to plan B. So this is the plan that I'm in. This is the plan that usually most people are in. So I'm going to go to this part. Okay. So so in phase two, we get a refeed date. So this is where our yellow containers aren't necessarily always like, you know, the whole wheat or the brown rice. Like it's not necessarily always the healthier version of a carb. So as you can see in this example here, the refeed days, like there's a waffle with white flour, there's hamburger bun that's white, there's pretzels in here. So it's more of the starchy carbs, the kind of simple, simple versus complex carbs. So this isn't every day. You only get, I think, one refeed day a week.
You get 2 of them in the whole month. They're on the Wednesday.
Okay. Yeah, I have to look because the refeed part is.
Yeah, 1 every 2 weeks.
Okay.
I think it's on the workout calendar where it's posted.
Okay. Like on the actual workout calendar, not the starting guide.
Yeah, the tracking one for phase 2, I think, is where it says it.
The tracker sheets, okay. Oh no, this is a different one.
Not that one.
This one.
Yep.
Okay, so phase 2. Yeah, so you have your first refeed day is going to be week 2 Wednesday, and then yeah, you're right. So every second Wednesday. So 2 days in the month. So we can't get totally excited being like, oh, we get to eat white carbs all day. But we do kind of get to treat ourselves a couple times through the month, which is good. Okay, another thing is the workouts are going to be completely different. So the warm-up is going to be different. The actual order of the workouts is going to be different. So I noticed that she put, yeah, booty day on Monday, cardio, and then total body core. And then like this is the same, the legs and AA are switched, and then cardio flow is still going to be on Saturday. So that's a little bit different. Our self-care and rest days are still on Sundays, and make sure you're still doing the roll and release or stretching ones for that. Is anybody like super sore, or like they just haven't gotten over their soreness, or it's like it's too much, it's kind of like overbearing? Or are we all kind of doing okay?
It's gotten better.
Okay, good.
First while it was sore. It just took a few times after working out to do the roll and release.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay. So another thing that a lot of people have been talking about is just that they're not seeing results that they thought they would. So I am prime example of this. I am not seeing a huge number on the scale change, which is okay, because I know that before this program, I wasn't eating as much food. So my metabolism was a lot lower. I wasn't fueling my body properly. Now that I'm eating the correct amount of food in a day, I know that like my weight hasn't changed a ton, but I'm at that kind of constant level, even though it's a few pounds heavier. Also, I'm drinking a lot more water. My muscles are active a lot more, so they're holding onto a lot more stuff. So just because that number isn't going steadily down, I'm not worried about it. And if that's the same case with you, you shouldn't be worried about it either. As long as you're seeing a strength increase over the course of the program, you're seeing yourself upping your weights, you're seeing yourself doing more exercises, or you're feeling less tired, or you can push yourself harder, those are great indications that you are progressing, right? Another thing is if you're taking measurements or tracking through measurements or photos, you can also do it that way, because somebody who weighs, 180 over here and 180 over here, and they're the exact, same weights, they can be completely different body compositions, right? Like one person can have a ton of lean muscle mass and look completely like fit and athletic, where another person can have a lot of fat and just look, like a heavy overweight 180 person. So there's completely different makeups. A number is just a number. You want to actually feel the different results. So how your clothes are fitting, your strength, and your mental strength along this journey as well. So one thing I really, really have noticed for myself, and I do this because I want you guys to know that you're not alone if you can relate to this. So first week of this program, my food was 100%. It was great. I was on track. I was planning. I was writing everything down. Second week, I was like, okay, I'll just kind of like copy a little bit what I did of the past week and just kind of like wing the rest of it. And then weeks 3 and 4, I kind of just fell off. I like had a mental note of what I was supposed to be eating, but I wasn't like following a plan or writing things down or counting anything. I was just kind of like, yeah, I'll copy this meal, and oh shoot, I think I've had too many carbs today. So if you find yourself doing this, I think we really, really have to go back to the basics and go back to that week 1 when we're all super excited to do a new program. We're all getting prepared and getting ready. So start by writing things down and planning things out, because if it isn't planned and put down in writing, then you just think you can wing it and you think everything is, you know, easy, simple. I've done this for 4 weeks already, when that's not the case, right? Because then if you fail to plan, then you plan to fail, right? How that saying goes. So if you haven't already, I want us to take out a pen and paper and plan our first day. So I want you to get the ball rolling right now, and literally just write down like what time you're going to get up in the morning, and then we're going to work through the day. So I'm going to open up my plan here. And if you have already done it, then you can just go through it again and make sure that everything is the way you want it. Make sure the times are correct. Make sure the rest of your schedule is all put in there so that, you know, nothing is left to chance. Okay, so if I go, so this is usually where I have my workout. My workout block is usually in the middle of the day when Carter naps. And I'm not a super, super early riser. Like the morning workout one where it's like people are getting up at 5:30 in the morning, like that's just not me. So Carter usually gets up around 6:30 to 7. So on my piece of paper, I'm gonna write Monday, and I'm gonna write 6:30 to 7, wake up. Okay, and then so 7:30 is my first meal, which is going to be a purple, a red, and a teaspoon. So another thing I want us to do is kind of share what we have been using for the container makeups. That's one thing I really found is in my other groups that I'm in, people are like, hey, I have, or I've noticed that this combo, because if they move around brackets, especially in this new phase, then they see color combinations that they haven't dealt with before, and they're not too sure kind of what foods to put in there or like what recipes to use. And I actually got a couple new ideas. So I'm excited to try them. And I want us all to share kind of what we've been using for the color containers, and then we can kind of brainstorm a little bit. So for the first one, a purple, a red, and a teaspoon. So usually what I do in this time slot is like eggs, and then a fruit, and like a scoop of peanut butter. That's kind of my go-to one. Another good one would be like a shake. So you could have your Shakeology, put a banana in there and put some peanut butter in there. That would be a good one too. So I'm going to do a shake in the morning tomorrow with banana and peanut butter. Okay, and then 10 o'clock will be my next meal. So this is the one. So it was green, purple, and blue. And people are like, what do you do? So a lot of them were saying just like split it up. So whether you're doing, you know, carrot sticks and then grapes and hummus with your carrots, or you could do, you know, like cucumbers and strawberries. Some people were doing cheese or almonds, like seeds, so splitting it up that way. But one good thing that somebody said was zucchini pizzas. So you have a slice of zucchini for the bottom piece, and then you have like your tomato sauce or your marinara sauce for your purple, and then you have cheese as the blue, and you bake that, and that is your green, purple, and blue. So I think this week I'm going to buy zucchini and try that, which it sounds delicious. But typically I do, yeah, like a carrots or cucumber. And then I'll do frozen mango is a really big one of mine. I just love it. And then I'll just cut up some cheese and put it in the blue container. Do you guys have any other good ideas for that combination? No clever, fun ones?
Does it matter? Does it have to be exactly like that? Because working during the day, I find it hard to eat basically at whenever time I have to. I eat when I can.
Yeah, no, totally. There's a lot of people who they do the container system with this program, but they don't do the timed portion of it. So it's whatever fits your lifestyle. Like, yeah, if you technically like you just can't time out your meals this way, it's whatever. As long as you're getting all of your containers in and eating roughly every like 2 to 3 hours, because just to keep your metabolism going.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. And then the pre-workout meal. So this is usually a meal that I do that's kind of like a bigger, heavier meal. So I'll do like chicken and rice, or I'll do like a wrap, like turkey meat and spinach in a wrap. But yeah, whatever you want to do for lunch, you can put that in there. So 12 o'clock. And yeah, tomorrow I'll do chicken, rice, broccoli. Okay, and then Energize. And workout. I'm super excited for this next phase. I'm excited for new workouts. Hydrate. And then the post-workout, so I usually like, yeah, just add a banana to that. And recover. And then post-workout meal. So what are other ideas that you guys have for the green, red, yellow, and teaspoon that you've been doing?
One of the things that I made from Fixate was the quinoa. I can't remember what they're called, but they're quinoa cups, and it's like spinach and quinoa and eggs. I put peppers and onions in them too.
Oh,
And they're
nice.
really good.
That sounds good.
Yeah, they're tasty.
Mm-hmm. I guess if I could scroll up here too, they have examples, well, even in like this part. So chicken, you could have, yeah, chicken pasta, but just like whole wheat pasta. And there's another one. Oh, these are the refeed days, that's why. Fish, salmon, squash, chicken pasta.
Does anybody eat sardines?
No. Oh my God.
No.
No.
I bought some, but I have no idea what to do with them.
It's funny because when I was a kid, when he said that, he eats them with oatmeal and whatever the heck else he had. I was like, bleh. I used to have them as a kid, but we'd have them on toast, and that was it.
Yeah.
Because you could mash them up. But I was like, well, I don't know about the oatmeal thing. It was kind of gross.
No kidding. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do for that one is just a wrap, because it's kind of like at an awkward time, like 4 o'clock. I don't want something too heavy because it's kind of like before supper. I'll just do like a turkey wrap. with some sauce and spinach. I'll have to look up my teaspoon, what I'll put with that. Okay, and then supper. So tomorrow, what I'm going to be doing is a crock pot recipe. So I have my crock pot group that's starting, and I think I'm going to see here. Oh, can you guys see this? The recipes? Do I have to stop share again? So I can look at, so this is what I'm trying to do, is make this crock pot recipes really, really easy so that you can look and it's like, okay, 1 green, 1 red, 1 yellow, and that's, you know, what I'm looking for. So I could make a beef stew in the morning and then have that as my supper. I can also add in like some flaxseed in there to give me an orange, and then some like olive oil, well, there is olive oil in there for my teaspoon or whatever. But yeah, so these recipes I'm hoping will be really, really good for the 80-day obsession. So it's something different and it's something bigger that we can make for our whole family, that it's not just like very, very cut by the color codes. So yeah, I'll put that in there. Maybe I can make that tomorrow. Actually, I don't think I have anything for beef. See, I don't need a blue. I'm super excited to make these brownies.
I made those ones. They're so amazing.
Are
and
they?
they're
Oh my
so good. Yeah. You would never notice it because you think chocolate brownies,
yeah,
but they were really good.
I'm pumped. Red, yellow, green. There's too many of these that have blue in there. Maybe I'll make some chicken noodle soup. So that'll be my 7 o'clock supper. Perfect. All right. What else do I need here? And then recharge, which I don't have the recharge, so that's good. So there is one day that, so now that I have this kind of set out, it just is going to trigger my mind to keep going, to keep doing this, because like, how hard is it just to kind of like copy this, do this every whatever, because I'm sure I'll have leftovers from my soup. I'm sure I can make up a whole bunch of chicken, have leftovers from that, and do 2 days of this maybe, and then I just have to do, you know, 3 other days for the week that that I need, and then my meal plan's pretty much done. So yeah, I think that is one definite way, is just force yourself to be doing these meal plans. And especially like for those of you who are teachers or who are busy or who are on the go, who have kids, like all of us do, having a plan and having everything set up is the way you're going to succeed. That's the way that, you know, things are going to work, things are going to keep going, and it's going to become a lifestyle. And it's not just, you know, okay, this program, I did it for this program, but I can't see this being my life. You know, you have to make sure that everything's fitting with what you're doing, to make sure that it's going to stick and it's going to be long term. Okay. Let me see. I think there was one other thing I wanted to go over with the new phase. Maybe not. Maybe it was just those. We can do this. So one thing is like figuring out how to kind of keep your meal plan fresh is always to go revisit the food list. So if you're kind of like, oh, I can't think of anything to make or whatever, go to the food list, and some of the ingredients kind of trigger your mind to be like, oh, I've always wanted to try that, or, you know, I haven't had this yet on this plan, or it just kind of triggers something that you can make. So if you ever get stuck, I always like having this food list either printed off or just kind of easy grab and look at it a few times. So here is the refeed days list is over here. So you can see that all of the foods on there, white bread, and again, you're gonna want to try and stick higher to the top. White tortillas. It just feels like weird doing that. Eating those things. Okay, yeah, make sure you're getting all of your water in still. Super, super important. And keep feeding your mind. So if you're finding yourself like, especially when we get to the halfway point and a little bit further, people are going to start dropping off even more. Like I said, like, look how many of us are on a call, and it's like, are people still going? Are people still, you know, engaged? Are they still participating? Not everybody is going to finish this. 80 days is a long time. So if we, you know, keep trugging along and if we keep each other accountable, keep posting, that's the biggest thing, is if you're posting all of your stuff, people are going to keep seeing it. They're going to keep getting notifications about it, and you're going to hold other people accountable as well as yourself, right? Like, I'm always in there checking, like, who's checking in, who's falling off, who's, you know, all the numbers. I'll keep messaging people, figuring out how you're doing. So just keep the lines of communication open and keep your success partner, keep them going, right? Like, nothing is more motivating than having somebody tag you in something, or having somebody say, hey, how was your workout today? And you're just like, well, I wasn't really going to do it, but now that you've contacted me, I might. So keep that going, keep plugging along, keep pushing your partner along. And if you have any questions, let me know, because, you know, I don't know everything, and the more that you ask or the more that you wonder, there's always other people wondering the same thing. So that being said, is there anything that you guys are kind of unsure of with these two? Are we all set to go? Excited, good to go?
I hope so.
I didn't even look at like how long the workouts are.
I did. They're not much different.
Okay. Phase 2. 58 minutes.
I think like week 1, there's really only 2 that are in like the full hour.
Mm-hmm.
3, sorry.
3,
57. Yeah.
But those booty days, like, even when they're that long, they don't feel like they're that long at all.
No. But when she did leg day on Friday and she told you what, I was like, are you for real? And then she's like, don't quit, keep going lower. And I was like, oh my God.
I know. I was like, I hate you so much right now.
I said, it's on fire already.
For sure.
One thing I have found is I'm finding I need to supplement some ab workouts. Okay. I'm not finding these workouts are burning my abs out. Like, I do booty, and by the end of it, my booty's burning, my legs are burning, my arms are burning. Like, I can push it, but like the only real day I find that we hit the abs is AAA, and even then I'm not burning my abs out. Whereas that one on Saturday, I think it was Saturday, I did cardio flow, and then I did off the 21-day fix, I did the flat ab fix, which is 30-minute ab workout, and my abs have been killing me for like 2 days. Like, they've been sore, and I've missed that because I love ab workouts, and I love burning my abs out like that. So I'm finding I need to I throw a little more ab stuff in there.
Right. Maybe when I've noticed this a lot when she's going through her workouts, like she goes kind of really fast. So I really like feeling the muscle and feeling what it does, and then I'll kind of speed up as I get tired. But in the first few reps, I want to go like really, really slow, but I find like I'm trying to keep up with her. So maybe try that. Like if you're doing some sort of an ab exercise or something involving the core, go like a little bit slower and try to like while she's talking, then that's when you can kind of catch up to her. Or just kind of pause her and do the movement and then play her, whatever. But I know that like if you're holding your core properly through all of the exercises, you are using your core for everything. It might not be like that superficial ab workout, like that burn that you're thinking about, but you are working those deep, muscles, the muscles that are holding your spine, the obliques. Like when she's telling you to turn, like really like crunch into that, because it could be just a form thing. That's why you're not necessarily feeling it all the time. But yeah, supplementing it would be fine. Like there's an 8-minute abs exercise on YouTube actually that I did like 7 years ago. I started it and I just loved it. And it's literally 8 minutes. It's I don't know how many exercises, but you do 30 of each exercise and you just like boom, 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 done, and you're super sore. So it's super short and effective.
Nice. I know she also has on the 21-day fix the 10-minute ab fix.
Mm-hmm.
And I like that one too. I like that as just like an add-on to something.
Absolutely. Yeah, so good. That's a very good point to bring up. But I would suggest like going through the first week of the second phase as well, because like even in the preview after the cardio flow, I saw that there's a lot of different moves. There's weighted twists, like there's a lot of different, I'm sure we're going to feel it in different ways now. So I would try the first week of it and see if you can feel anything different in terms of your core, and then supplement after that if you need. So yeah. Okay, another tip that I have been seeing coaches doing, if you're having like trouble getting your containers in or eating every 2 to 3 hours, set reminders or alarms on your phone. So what I'm going to plan on doing is like really trying to knock this nutrition, because that's the biggest thing I think why I'm not seeing as much definition and as much like tightening up in my body as I thought I would, is because my nutrition hasn't been 100%. So I think what I'm going to do is set alarms throughout the day. So every 2 to 3 hours, I have, a reminder going on my phone saying, eat this, time to eat kind of thing. Just so it's habit in my mind, because I'll tend to start something and then I just like keep going and going and going and ignore, the clock. And then all of a sudden 4 hours later, I'm like, shoot, I probably should eat something. And then I'm starving. And then I'm like, this little snack doesn't cut it kind of thing. So, it's easy kind of just to get off track that way as well. So that's one tip that I'm going to do, is just set some alarms in my phone. And yeah, if you need any assistance, you can try it as well.
I saw one post for that with the timers, and they used the colored hearts as the reminders of what to eat at each time too.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, hopefully it works. I'll let you know how it goes. But yeah, I think that we're going to rock this phase. I think if we've stuck it out this long, I think these are the ones that are going to finish it. I'm sure there's a few more that just couldn't make it tonight, but hopefully everybody is hopeful and trusting the process and ready to just rock out the rest of this program. It's going to take us, right until April, so right until spring, and then we're going to have those rockin' bods ready for bikini weather. So Yes, April 4th. So
yeah, April 4th.
Yeah. And I have a Mexico trip in April, so I'm like, yeah, work it out.
Oh, nice. Bonus.
Yeah, exactly. So, but yeah, I think that's all I have for tonight, but keep pushing, keep going, keep communicating, and keep posting. So have a good night, guys.
Thanks, you guys. You're awesome.
See you.
Night.